G'day and welcome to this International Student Life presented by Wise Words Media. You're listening to The Bloke Who Walks, and it's the Spotlight series, and this week we're shining a spotlight on your first week in Melbourne. So say g'day to Melbourne and congratulations, you've made it back. You're enrolled, you've got through your orientation week, and so have we. So a quick intro, about 30 to 40 seconds to let you know what's coming up in this episode. You're going to hear the same intro throughout next week, and we're going to run through every morning for this second, third week for some of you of your first semester back in Australia. We're going to run through what should you be looking at, or what should you be considering in your first week in Melbourne. So you'll see we won't pack too much information on the screen for you. We'll keep it as short and sharp as possible. So we're going to take a short break, enjoy the sights, the sounds, summer, orientation week in Melbourne, Australia. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Myki cards, do you know where to buy them? Welcome back. We've missed you all terribly the last couple of years. It's great to see you all coming back. The final topic today, how do you get around Melbourne? Well, if you're a student, you'll need a Myki card to get around Melbourne on public transport. You can buy Myki cards from any 7-Eleven store and other selected retailers, as well as some train stations. Now, the best way to do it is actually probably to go to a train station, one of the premium stations or the customer service stations in your local suburb. No doubt you're probably living near your campus. There's many train stations around most of the campuses, even up in Ballarat at Federation University. Now, the other thing, finally, to wrap this series up for this week, check if your institution is signed up to use the I Use Pass program. I Use. You've probably heard of it. Did you know, I bet you already do, you can save 50% on travel as an international student. So there's, even though some people in Melbourne might think that Mykis are expensive, for students, especially international students, you've got that your student card, and if you have that I Use Pass and you're signed up for that, you'll be saving a lot of money. Did you know Melbourne has the biggest tram track network in the world? Yep, we've got more than 250 kilometres of tram tracks lying around the place to get you from any place in the eastern suburbs. You can go from Belgrave if you're riding Puffing Billy, and if you want to get out to the Werribee Zoo, you can get there in the same day to see a rhinoceros in Melbourne. It's London to a brick. I bet that you're going to be using public transport, because even second-hand cars are getting expensive these days in Melbourne, because guess what? We don't manufacture cars anymore, but that's a topic for another day. What we'd like to finish off with today is that Melbourne's public transport, anyone tells you that it's not reliable or not efficient, don't believe them. We use it regularly, we use it daily, every day, to get from north to south. We go across town from east to west, and it's rare that a bus or a tram or a train will let you down. Welcome back to this International Student Life, produced by Wise Words Media and Calumny Films. We really appreciate you tuning in to our special Spotlight series. We've been shining a spotlight on your first week in Melbourne. Now, we're an independent service. We're not recommending anyone in particular. We're just letting you know we're not paid by any university or any government organisation, so trust us when we tell you that these are some of the best tips we've found out there going around from all the different service organisations and all the different university guides.
And we are absolutely delighted to be with you tonight for this very special Queen Victoria Market Night Market, which is all about welcoming our international students. Students over the last 3 years, And we've also been so grateful to those who stayed for persisting and showing so much resilience. Our latest stats show that there are 138,000 international students back in Victoria, which is 92% of pre-pandemic levels. Woohoo! Because international students aren't just valuable on our campuses and in our tertiary institutions, they're fantastic customers and consumers. They're wonderful participants and volunteers. They're incredible workers in our local businesses particularly, and this is about setting up relationships for the long term. If you are an international student, could you please put your hand up?
Yes, hello, hello, hello.
What sort of music we're going to have tonight?
Volunteers to compete.
And these topics we've put together, we'll be putting out a short episode each day of this week, and then we'll combine them all into one longer episode for the following week. And these are just suggestions that we've been researching through all the material available in the public domain, especially from all the different universities. We are a honest broker of information. We're not paid by any university, any government body. We're purely independent, so you can take it from us. These are some tips that we've picked up in the international student education sector in Melbourne, Australia. So, but again, if you need any help and if you want any really good advice, go to the experts, your international student support team at your university. So that's all we have for you now in this episode. We've somehow managed to fit all the information in. The other thing I would like to say and just remind you is that this channel is, we are based in Melbourne, Australia. Wise Words Media has a lot of experience in international student education, creating marketing, video and audio content for international students. We also have a lot of experience settling people from overseas into life in Melbourne since 1979. We love showing off Melbourne, and we love helping people get familiar with everything this city has to offer. So make sure that you make the fullest of everything life in Melbourne has to offer through your university. Your international student support team has many activities throughout the year, not just orientation week. There's many things to take advantage of, many clubs and societies. And if you're a student whose language, English, is a second language, don't stop yourself and be anxious about joining in. Get involved, practice your English, find conversation clubs, and we'll wrap it up there. You've been listening to This International Student Life. We're based in Melbourne, Australia, and we want to thank you for joining us in this episode, and make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell. You don't have to pay anything. It's free to listen, free to watch, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now. This video contains nil paid promotion. All international student information is compiled from sources available in the public domain. For further information, visit your university website, international student offices, or an international education recruitment agent in your country. This International Student Life is produced by Wise Words Media and Calumny Films. We accept no responsibility for any errors or omission of information in this video.